Hi everyone, in this video, we'll take a close look at the curriculum covered in the SeedS online video course. The curriculum is broken up into 7 main topics, and under each, we also have divided key information and lectures into subtopics for easier understanding. Let's take a look in the next few minutes at what exactly is covered in each of these topics and subtopics. Beginning with startup fundamentals, we'll be looking very closely at the expectations of a startup by both investors and the Japanese business community in general, covering the 4 key characteristics of innovation, scalability, growth, and expansion that all startups should meet and maintain. All of these aspects should be represented clearly and cohesively in the business model canvas, where the core startup product, resources, and customer segments are explored for logical consistency and viability. Then we look to answer major questions related to decision-making structure, urgency of incorporation, funding plans, and even business building speed to decide between incorporating a KK or a GK. We'll explore the organizational structural differences between the KK and GK, and how this structure then translates into your plans for raising funds, which will affect share distribution and decision-making power. We'll then identify all the steps involved in incorporating a company from beginning to end, focusing especially on the Articles of Incorporation, which contains all sorts of details that define the rules of your company. It is very important that certain details be known, discussed, and decided upon early before rushing into the incorporation process. We'll then move into the visa section and look closely at the visa timeline and identify the true end goal for all startup founders and business owners alike, requirements included. Usually, visas are time limited, so it's also important to know hiring options and visa sponsorship opportunities to bring help when needed. We're here to reassure you that you have options, and we will help you find the safety net that works for you. When it comes to visa options, getting one visa status is not the one and only answer. There's always room to move around. Moving into the topic of business relations, we'll also identify core values common to the West that are also apparent in Japan, but approached and handled quite differently. At the same time, we'll contextualize those values and see how they affect your business dealings with target business types. In startup fundraising, we'll look closely at the types of investors available and work towards understanding what motivates these investors and how you can capture their attention. Then we'll see where these investors come in throughout the startup journey to help you best identify the groups of investors that are most appropriate according to both your current startup stage and future startup goals. We'll also explore the underlying legal, tax, and business implications that might come with different methods of fundraising. Specifically, in raising funds, what agreement formats are the most appropriate depending on time constraints, costs, complexity of terms required, and even public outreach potential. In the case of working with convertible equity and the convertible note, we'll use a simulator to explore different terms and scenarios, such as the valuation cap and conversion discount, and see how that may affect share distribution and company ownership down the line. Moving into financial planning, we'll look closely again at the startup growth cycle and identify key points in time, including possible exit strategies, and see how these key moments can be captured in the income statement, capital funding plan, and schedule of activities. And finally, to wrap everything up, we'll be constructing a data-driven yet emotionally impactful narrative in the form of a pitch deck to gain audience and investor buy-in while communicating your startup and product in a thorough yet concise manner.